Hello everybody, we are back here on Way of the Hunter. Today's video, we're going to be doing the very first multiplayer video for Way of the Hunter, and I really haven't seen too many people doing this, and there's a very good reason for that, and it's the fact that multiplayer is not exactly the smoothest experience in Way of the Hunter as of now. However, I think it could be cool to maybe find ourselves some trophies on a multiplayer server, as we really haven't done that yet, so let's join the server and just see what happens. As you can see, there's not a lot of them up right now, which is mainly due to the poor performance in multiplayer at the current moment. And today we will do our best to not shoot any deer that would have good genetics unless it's 5-star, because I don't want to ruin whoever's map we end up on. And because I still want to be courteous to the people that open up their servers and try my best not to take down males that would have high genetics, because as we know, taking down all the good genetics animals will lower the overall genetics of your map, and we wouldn't want to be doing that, so I am going to try and refrain from shooting anything that has the potential to be good genetics, unless, of course, it is a 5-star. Okay, so already noticing some major issues in multiplayer. It seems like, animals get really close before realizing that you exist, and I'm going to assume that that's probably a desync thing, but yeah, they are literally right in front of us. You know, multiplayer might be the place to go if you want to get some good close-up pictures of the animals, because, yeah, they're kind of just hanging out. So, yeah, that's a little bit of an issue. So, what we're seeing right now is another one of the reasons why I've been avoiding multiplayer. A lot of the animations for the animals are very, glitchy, to say the least. They're kind of just scooting forward instead of walking in their normal animations, and unfortunately, this is pretty much every multiplayer server that you join as of now, and, well, what sparked this video really was a comment from somebody asking why the animals are kind of, weird like this in multiplayer, and so I figured why not do an entire video and focus on the multiplayer, seeing if it's even playable at the moment, because it definitely has a lot of issues, but the question is, can we still actually take down some animals and actually be able to claim them and tax them? That's the stuff that I want to find out today, and also just see if we can find some cool stuff in multiplayer servers. Well, yeah, we're continuing to see some major problems with animals not really wanting to spook, and if I'm being honest, that one looks like it might be injured even, and I don't even know what to call that, but that was interesting. Let's just take down probably this guy, as he does look to be the tiniest, so most likely has bad genetics. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's not gonna be possible. Not if he's doing that, although he did stop, so we were actually able to get a shot into him with the 338 just to make sure that he doesn't go anywhere. And I probably will be using the 338 a lot today, as it's really the only gun that can drop them on the spot and make it so we don't have to chase them down, and we just got absolutely murdered by that whitetail. But yeah, the question is, can we even claim this with the amount of lag that's in multiplayer? It's hard to say. I mean, there's no deer on the flame screen, so that's a problem. And 96% genetics. Well, right as I said, I didn't want to shoot anything that could have good genetics. We end up doing that. Amazing. I'm already doing great, which is par for the course with pretty much everything we do when it comes to this game. I can never manage to kill off the bad genetics. Whenever I take a random shot like this, it's always a good one. And yeah, I can't even sell it. So yeah, it's a problem. Can I tax it though? No, I can't. Well, and oh my gosh. Can I do it now? No. Well, that's an issue. And I've noticed that in multiplayer, we get a lot of graphical issues like this as well. And I'm really curious why that's the case, because you wouldn't think that anything different would happen in multiplayer versus single player. I mean, connections should all be based off of the host's internet, and it really seems like every single server I've been in has been this way, including whenever I end up joining my wife's server when she's playing just downstairs from me. And it ends up being the exact same. Just a complete lag fest with all of these bugs, and it really reminds me of the state that the Hunter Call of the Wild's multiplayer was in when it first released as well. And so I'm hoping that a lot of these issues can be resolved over time, as we have seen the multiplayer of the Hunter get better over time, though still not perfect. It's in a much better state than it was when it released, and I'm hoping that Way of the Hunter's multiplayer can get to a state like that as well, because right now it's virtually unplayable, but we're still attempting it today, and hopefully we can at least get some interesting footage. So we're going to be watching our money count up here to see if it ever credits us for that mule deer that we took down. Maybe it'll eventually count it as being claimed, because we're currently at 3671, so if that ends up going up, then we know that at least one of them ended up getting claimed. Well, the multiplayer weirdness continues as I only see 3 one-star young whitetail in this herd. That's not normal to see a whitetail herd that small, and it's definitely a little bit strange to come across. I did not expect to be seeing a group of 3 bucks that are all one-star males. You know, I think we will, or not one-star males, but one-star youngs. And I think we'll take a closer look at them and see if there's any similarities between the 3. I mean, they all look different, so that's good, and this guy definitely looks like the worst one, so I suppose we'll take him. I just want one animal to let me claim it today. So we're gonna hope that we'll be able to claim one of them, and that it is even possible, because right now, I don't think I've ever actually been able to claim an animal, no matter what server I've been in. So we're gonna see if I can make that a possibility today, but most likely we won't even get to claim anything that we shoot in this video, though we'll definitely continue trying, and hopefully we'll be able to at one point. And that one was a little bit of a better choice at 70% genetics, but still not exactly on the low end of things, and once again, still cannot sell it, so that's a problem. Definitely not sure what we could even do to make this possible. We're just gonna hope it works at some point. I like how it also shows the incorrect difficulty in multiplayer, as I am playing on Hunter difficulty. I wonder if it's based off of the host's map. I'm going to assume it's probably based off of whatever the host is playing on. And so they're playing on Adventurer. I'm curious if me switching over to Adventurer would help with syncing things up at all. I really don't know at this point. And again, the same issue as last time. We walk away and it drops back down, and I'm assuming we still can't claim it or anything. Yeah, we can't. And then we exit and same thing. So I don't think that's not even the correct rack anymore. What is going on? Well, yeah, I'd say it's probably a good bet just to stay away from multiplayer until they push some fixes through. And we also are somehow hearing gunshots even though nobody is here. Well then, I think we're gonna try a different server, see if maybe we could possibly find one that works a little bit better. We've got one other server up. If this one doesn't work, then I think we're kind of screwed. Before we get too much farther in the video, I did want to real quickly say that I do think that they will eventually get the multiplayer working as intended. It's just a matter of time. Like I mentioned earlier, Call of the Wild's multiplayer was pretty bad on launch as well, and they ended up fixing it over the years, and I imagine it'll be the same with Way of the Hunter. And I'm really hoping they can start fixing it up soon, because it's a shame that I can't join people for multiplayer hunts or do multiplayer hopping or do multiplayer collaborations with other creators, because the multiplayer doesn't work very well. But considering the developers have done a pretty good job at pushing out hot fixes, at least bi-weekly, I think eventually they will get the multiplayer fixed, and probably within the next few months it'll be at least in a better state than it is currently, but it's just a shame that it wasn't perfect on launch, though I guess in reality no game is perfect, but it's just a shame that it's not even playable right now. Though with all of the stuff that we've been seeing in this multiplayer session here, I do understand why they put different limitations on different platforms. I can totally understand why PlayStation and Xbox are limited to, I believe, 2 and 3 players per server, and then PC is limited to 4. Because any more than that, and it probably would have just self-destructed, but even with the current player counts, it's still not a smooth experience, to say the least, and in fact, it is quite unenjoyable in a lot of places, but hopefully that will get ironed out with time. Well, we've got a third server that has emerged. Let's try to join this one. Also, I'm curious, maybe the servers that show up are specific to the map that you have selected. So let's actually real quickly select Transylvania and see if we get other options. Well, it definitely does not change what's in the multiplayer list, so it seems like it doesn't matter what map you're on. You'll always see the same server, so I'm assuming there's no way to really tell what map you're joining. But we'll join this third one and see if it's any different. Well, I'll be. The third server actually is on Transylvania. So that's nice. Let's see if maybe we can get something to work properly on this one. Well, that's a first. I went into photo mode to see if I could get a picture for the thumbnail. My character's still walking. This is, not something I've seen before. I could never get this to work in single player. I'd try auto walking to get footage for videos and it never worked, and well, yeah, that's strange to say the least, but you know, kind of interesting, I guess. And we switch out of it and we're back here. That is, I have no words for that. Well, let's just take down a fallow deer real quick to see if we can even claim it in this server. This, I believe, is a 1-star adult, if I'm not mistaken, so, well. Alright then. What's so strange is the animals bleed out like they are supposed to. They always end up going the same distance they would in single player, so I don't know why we're not able to claim them ever in multiplayer. Oh my gosh, we actually got to. Well, that's a step in the right direction. So we found a server that we can actually hunt. So let's get out there and do some real hunting since we found a server that's working somewhat properly. You know, this video went from being a complete disappointment with the amount of issues that multiplayer has to me being very excited that we actually found a server that's even working, so we now have a chance to look for some 5 stars in multiplayer and see if it'll be possible once they fix everything up to do some effective 5-star multiplayer hopping. Well, it's just a 1-star young, but once again, I want to see if we're actually able to claim it since we were able to with the fallow deer. Let's hope that that's going to be the case with every animal on the map. Didn't get the spine shot that I was hoping for. Let's just put one more into it to finish it off. There it is, the moment of truth, and yeah, we ended up hitting it twice, 49% genetics, so definitely a good one to get down. Hopefully we won't be taken, and once again, I can't claim it, so yeah, I don't know why we were able to claim that fallow, because I can't with the chamois. And honestly, I think that's probably going to be the end of the video because there's really not too much else I can do in multiplayer with it in its current state. And you know, even when they fix it up all the way to where it's working perfectly, I really don't see myself joining random multiplayer servers because in Way of the Hunter, at least I feel like the satisfaction is growing your trophies on your own map, getting your reserve to a point where it will produce these giant trophies and getting the average genetics up to the max. And I think even when they add rares and stuff like non-typicals down the line, I'll probably still gravitate towards single player, which is the exact opposite of the Hunter Call of the Wild. Where in Call of the Wild, a lot of times I do enjoy jumping into multiplayer and hunting for diamonds and rares, and the server disconnected. Well, as I was saying, I feel like I probably will not do a lot of multiplayer in Way of the Hunter, even once they fix it because of the reasons I just stated. In Call of the Wild, the chance of random diamonds and rares in multiplayer is what causes me to want to join random servers, but here, like, I can have just as much success in single player just watching my trophies grow, and to be honest, probably better success even. Even if they get it to a state where it works just as perfect as single player does, I still don't see myself playing the multiplayer that much in Way of the Hunter unless it's collaborations with other content creators. But I hope this was a little bit sort of kind of insightful video for you guys because there really was not too much that I could do with it with multiplayer in the current state, and I really hope that they fix it soon because it's a shame that it's so unplayable at the moment. And I'd love to do some collaborations with other content creators, and the only reason that I haven't been doing it on Way of the Hunter with them is because of the way multiplayer is currently working. But hopefully that will be fixed in the coming months, and until it is, we'll just stick to our single player. But with that being said, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, click that like button, and ring that notification bell so that you guys will never miss any of the future uploads. Also, be sure to leave a comment down below on whether or not you guys think they'll end up getting multiplayer fixed, whether or not you think it'll ever be as good as single player, or if you think it was entertaining to watch this video. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace!